It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Badco Brewing and Distilling, and it's a can of their Dark Necessities Milk Stout, coming in at 5.5% ABV. In a 330 milliliter can. Let's get the beer out into a glass. Ooh, wet hands, and see what we get. So Badco, they have kind of come from nowhere. Really, I first heard of Badco when my fellow friend and YouTuber Rob from Hop Scene did a collaboration with them with another YouTuber called Ging Real Ale Trail, Stuart Pickard. They did a collaboration with Badco Brewing and Distilling. I can't remember the name of the beer. I think it was a stout. I wondered if it was this stout. I wonder. But they brewed a kind of a milk stout with them, and then it was sold all over the north of England. I didn't get to try it. And then the next thing you know, they got kegs, mini kegs of Pale Aura in my local Morrison's. Then they have a range of beer recently in Morrison's, and then I go into Asda. I don't generally go into Asda too much. I used to work in an Asda a couple of years ago, a few years ago now, and it didn't end well. Pardon me. So I tended for a while to stay away from Asda, but I'm glad I've gone back in. I found a different range of Badco beers, like different numbered beers. This Dark Necessities Stout I found in Asda, and I thought that looked really good. Let's pick it up. So they seem to have shifted from, say, microbrewer into like a supermarket concentrated company where they pump their beers into the supermarkets, which it's a decent tactic. It should work. It does work, obviously. So looking at the beer, we got a one finger tan coloured head. It's a jet black beer in the glass. Not much light at all bleeding through the bottom. There's a little bit of light bleeding through the bottom, but not too much. Slow moving carbonation, not too much carbonation. Let's get the aroma. It smells good. Coffee, chocolate, caramel aromas. Maybe a hint of milkiness from the lactose in the beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. That's nice. Yeah, it's really good. And what I was looking for before I spoke, they called it a milk stout. So ideally, it should be creamy, dense, kind of milky, yeah? A milky kind of hot chocolate or something along those lines. A consistency that subtly follows milk, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there's a creaminess to the beer, there's a depth to the beer. That's what I was looking for first. And then what follows is a mixture of malt and hop. You get a slight kind of breadiness, nuttiness from the malts. Then you get your classic roasted malt flavours of chocolate and coffee and caramel. And then the hop side of the beer is, because I think it reacts with the roasted malt, it gives more of a plum, a fig, a prune, dark fruit flavours on the back end, and that's coming from the hops. So a nice balance to the beer between roasted malt, nice kind of juicy, fruity, dark fruit hops. So you can see it working. If you think of the dark fruits, if you think of the chocolate, the coffee, the caramel, the way the beer should feel. If you think about coffee, a latte, it's thick and gloopy. Same as caramel, drippy, sticky caramel, gloopy. And the same, what was the other one? Chocolate, milk chocolate, yeah? You imagine squeezing hold of, or even putting 3 squares of milk chocolate in your mouth. You get that kind of melt in the mouth gloopiness. And you immediately think, when you think of these flavours, these coffees, these chocolate, these caramels, you think, or I think anyway, the beer should match that. That lactosiness, that kind of milk stoutness should match it, and it really does. It really does. I'm not standing here saying it's the best milk stout I've ever tried. It's a good one. I would say it's good. It's not very good, it's not fantastic, it's not terrific, it's not Stone the Crows, but it's a good, solid milk stout. It's part of the 4 for £6 range. 4 beers for £6 in Asda. So, like, what have I picked up? I'll tell you what I've picked up. I'll get them. Just to give you an example, I wasn't planning on doing this on the review. But I'll just show you what I picked up for my 4 for £6. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I like a stout, so I picked up another Dark Necessities. So I got another one of those. And I have a Harbour, pardon me, Ellensburg Session IPA. 4.3 I think that is, yeah, 4.3%. And then we have an Atom Schrodinger's Cat, 3.5% US Amber. Of course, I like to pick up different beers to review on the channel. I very rarely drink another beer twice. As far as the selection goes, I'd had everything else in Asda, so I thought, what do I want something else of? So I went for a second can of the stout. But you see where I'm going. You can get a good selection, even if you're just getting into beer. You can get a good selection of beer for a very reasonable price. If you put the price together, if you break these 4 cans down, 4 for £6, that's £1.50 a can. But it's worth more than £1.50. I think you're tasting more than £1.50. I think this is more, I don't know, I could get away with, I've seen beers in bottle shops and can shops, they call them these days, I suppose, where they're £2.50, and they've been worse. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. It's a decent, if unspectacular, milk stout. Built for the supermarket, but relatively tasty. I'm going to rate it. I like the beer enough to give it I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!